Okay, something I've touched on in my video series on the Augason Farms foods and my personal shift over to a food storage system, which is not just regular grocery stuff, but long-term storage foods, so that I'm not constantly racing expiration dates on canned food in my personal diet. I'm getting older. I got to look out for my health. I don't want to eat out of expired cans all the time, so I'm doing a one-time series of purchases over the course of a little over a year to build up my year's supply of survival food, and then that's going to be it for several years. I focused on the Augason Farms stuff from Walmart, but what I noticed is even in these like big package packs, there was some stuff lacking, and it always seemed like there was a missing link or a missing element to these, and it's kind of hard to tell what it was. Well, after I did a little more research and everything, I figured that these companies were Mormon owned, okay? And you can look at this, these guys are the Blue Chip Group out of Salt Lake City, Utah. You're not a major food business, processing business out of Utah without being Mormon owned, okay? That's just the reality. And one of the things they've made an agreement to do is not to directly compete against the Mormon Canneries. Now, the Mormon Canneries are a little bit of a touchy situation. The public, they are open to the public, but it's really kind of a their own people first thing. You know, they're not trying to be mean to anybody. Here in Portland, Oregon, there is one. It's I don't know, looks like a good sized place. They're kind of secretive about the location. They would not allow me to make video there. In fact, before being told that I couldn't do video there, I did some video in the parking lot. That's all getting deleted off my channel. It's not going to be up anymore. Their concern, I think, is if there's a WRL, at least things hit the fan situation. They don't want to get raided. They don't want anyone, I mean, the place has barbed wire and concrete walls, okay? They kind of take protecting their preparations a little bit seriously. I got to respect that. Partly because, I got concrete and gates and barbed wire between this trailer and the open public too. So, I understand the concept, okay? They don't want to really disclose a whole lot about it. If you make contact with local Latter-day Saints, they do know about the place. It is open to the public. It just takes a little bit of determination to get in touch with them. The thing is, when we get into the recipe items, okay, the breakfast pack on Augason Farms is not a complete breakfast. The dinner's not a complete dinner. They do have a meat substitute that's kind of okay. But like refried beans, okay, now this stuff has 10 to 30 year shelf life. The refried beans, according to the Mormon Cannery, the refried beans, because they've been flaked, has a shorter shelf life than whole beans. So these only have a 5-year shelf life. I'm not going to buy any more than one case of 6 cans because I might run into that shelf life at some point. But the thing is, it helps complete a pretty good supply of that stuff. The other thing is they sell it in big 25-pound bags, and from what I could tell about the 25-pound bags, is sure look like Mountain House stuff on big, but you got to add other spices and other stuff to make it good. I'll keep the extra salad dressings, and I have olive oil and all that. And when you look at the missing link and other items, because here's refried beans that can be incorporated into a lot of different food. The tomato powder from Augason Farms has some recipes on there. You add a couple little things here and there. It can become spaghetti sauce or pizza sauce or something like that. Well, there is no Augason Farms spaghetti. There's no Augason Farm noodles of any kind. That's because you got to get those at the Mormon Cannery, and the Mormon Cannery noodles have a 30-year shelf life. So that's that for the macaroni and the spaghetti. Augason Farms has a cheese mix in a huge can like that. So when you look at the amount of cheese mix that you get with, let's say, a little box of macaroni and cheese, you got to realize that the ratio of cheese mix to macaroni is pretty broad. Although, you would use milk or cream or butter mix or something like that to make macaroni and cheese, you would be looking at one can of the Augason Farms cheese for probably a case or two of the Mormon Cannery macaroni. And this stuff, pretty much all of your number 10 cans out of the Mormon Cannery, pretty much all going to be about $5 a can. I mean, that's about what it's going to work out to. The hot cocoa is more, but then that's a pretty big can of it. The other thing is, well, most of the stuff has a 30-year shelf life. A few items don't. The refried beans is only 5 years. The hot cocoa and their version of Tang is apparently only 2 years. But then that's the type of stuff that you're probably going to go through anyway, so it's not a bad thing to buy it. They have apple slices, which I believe have a shorter shelf life than some of the other stuff. Not bad, and that's something you would incorporate into pies and cobblers and stuff like that. The Mormon Cannery also has stuff that's in big Mylar bags. Okay, not quite MRE. It's basically the same stuff they sell in cans. It's just if you want a different type of packaging, where the packaging itself weighs a little bit less, that can work for traveling. It's also a little bit cheaper to get it in the bags. Now, it's not going to be less money, but what it is they'll give you more of the contents for the money. You just don't get the can. So they have their own sealers and all that. Now, I've heard stories that some of the canneries will let you go in and can your own stuff. The one in Portland, Oregon, that's a no-go. Anything you want canned there has to be bought there. So I had a big 60-pound bag of rice. I can't can it there. They don't want outside food in their processing area. And if you can avoid going in the processing area, it's kind of a clean room environment. You got to kind of like go to the side shelves and buy what's on the shelf. I don't want to bother their clean room environment, and if they want work done, I'll stack boxes and do some work outside, but I kind of want to let their own expert people deal with their own clean room stuff. I don't want to intrude on that. So this is, my little haul from the Mormon Cannery. I've seen other people do entire truckloads. I'll be honest with you, unless you're really willing to process beans and wheat, and you're doing a whole wheat grinding thing and a food processing thing, I would not go that route. I would just do business with them on the business side with through Augason Farms or one of the other Latter-day Saint owned food storage businesses, and then fill in the blanks with some of their cannery stuff, which is going to be some of the staples like the macaroni and stuff.